One Geek Girl on Wheels here, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own Kawaii felt fortune cookie. This is the little guy I'm going to teach you today. So what you're going to need to be able to make one of these is some fortune cookie colored felt, so tan felt. I've already cut out a circle. I just used a roll of ribbon to Sharpie around it, and I've got my circle. I've got this little tiny piece for the fortune. You need the fortune. You're going to need a needle and thread. You're going to need black paint for the eyes and mouth, pink paint for the cheeks, and of course the little white dots that go in for the eyes, to put in the highlights in the eyes. You can also draw your heart in pink or red. So if I'm going to do the next one, I'm going to do this one in pink. I did my last one here in red. So whichever one of those you like. I use acrylic paints. You can use fabric paints or whichever you like. And the one other thing you're going to need is about a thumb's worth of fluff. So we've got the fluff, we've got all that. And what you're going to do to start it off is you're going to fold your little circle in half. I don't knot my thread right away, because what I choose to do instead is I make a very, sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't in the camera frame there. So to start, I leave a tail and then I go back through, and what I do is I tie that thread to this thread so that when it's all in there, there's no little, you just turn it over. And it becomes part of the knot itself, becomes part of the stitching. So just like that. And I'm going to knot it a second time to make sure it's nice and secure. I'm just going to do a straight stitch all the way around. Make sure you've got your edges fairly tucked in. Get my needle. So it's just a straight up and down stitch. About half a centimeter, quarter inch for Americans from the edge, and you just straight back and forth stitch. Now try not to pull overly fast, or that's what happens with your thread. It turns all goopy on you. And of course, whee! Naughty thread. There we go. That's fixed. So I'm just going to go up and down all the way around my cookie. So when you get to be about 2/3 of the way around your cookie, so to about here, you want to go along and trim the excess edge off. If there's too much in one place or another, make it a little more rounded. Careful not to cut your thread. And then we want to add in, we want to stick our little tiny fluff and stick it inside your cookie. So the cookie puffs up when you're done with it a bit. A little bit of fluff, just like that. Maybe a couple little bits more. Pinch a little bit more, not a lot. See, just tiny little bit. And then maybe half of that. Because you don't want it overstuffed, because then it won't fold in half. And we still have to fold it in half. So then we tuck in the nice little piece of white fabric. And just keep stitching. And now you want to go right through all 3 layers of fabric, felt. Once you get to the end and you've got your half circle all nicely sewn up, you're going to go right in the middle of your half circle here, push down with your finger, and make these two ends meet. And what you're going to do is a couple of stitches and sew those two ends together so you keep your cookie shape. Now you're going to go through both ends a couple of times to make sure it's nice and strong. And then just knot it off. Do it again if you need to, and make a knot with it. You want to make sure your holding spot for it is nice and secure. I have a tendency to overdo my knots, but I prefer it to not come apart. And there you go. So now we've made our cookie shape. I'm going to trim off our threads. All the little extra threads on the back. Keep it nice and neat, and our extra stuffing wherever it might pop out. Tidy it up. And then just go around and shape your little fortune cookie. And there we go. Oh, there's a little bit too much fabric here for what I want. So I'll just trim that off a bit. Do it in very, very small pieces. And then there I go. We have a fortune cookie. I'm going to move the felts now out of the way. And believe it or not, I like to use the other end of the paint paintbrush to do a lot of my faces, as well as some of my crochet hooks have been part of that. And I'm just going to get there they are. I've got these little travel baby wipes, and where you're doing dotting, this cleans off the end of your dotting tool really, really easily. So, I'm going to put in the black first, and I'm just going to use the paint from the lid because it's much easier to control. And we one eye, dip again, two eyes. Make sure both dots are fairly evenly made. This one needs to be a little bit bigger. There we go. And then I can just wipe it off, just like that. And I'm going to use my darning needle. And put on its little tiny smile. Like that. Try not to press too tight, too much with the very tip, or it will start to fuzz out on you. So there's our little happy face. Clean off my dotting tools, so I'll put my darning needle away. And this. Now that I've got that done, I need to go to my pink, give it a shake so there's lots on the lid. And then I'm going to take this, just again with the end of the paint stick, and under the eyes by the corner of the mouth, put one little dot, put another little dot, and there we have a happy face. Now to make your heart, you want to bring your little white piece and make a dot and pull down. Make another dot beside it and pull down. And ta-da! You have a dotted heart. Just like that. Simple, easy peasy. And we're going to wipe it back off again with our baby wipe. Because all we need now, we'll put the top back on the pink. Because when you shake things and stuff, you never want your paint to spill all over the place. So I'm shaking up the white now. Take the white, take the lid, take my little darning needle again, because we want just a little bit of highlight on the little eyes. So you want to put in the little white dot there. and dip it again, and little white dot there. And there we go. We have our cute little kawaii face. And you can always touch it up a little bit more. I think I might put a little bit more black around the edge there. But there's our little face. There's our little heart on our message. And that is your kawaii cookie. Do it yourself, little craft. Takes about half an hour and you've got yourself a little fortune cookie. Put it on a key ring. You can put it on a lanyard and stick it, or a jump ring or anything else. Stick it on your purse, make it into a key ring, make it into a backpack friend. And it's nice and soft. And you made it with love. So all your fortunes are love. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial on the little kawaii fortune cookie. You can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook, and all that's down below in the description box, along with my Patreon. My Patreon account has different rewards for different levels of people that would like to help me do more DIYs for folks and be able to get a few more supplies. And I'd be very grateful. That is not something that I need all my people to do. I just love making these videos, and I hope you like the cookie. I'll see you next time. Bye!